Welcome to Paddock Underdogs. My name is Will. We are on the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Clubman Championship, and last time out I finished my best ever result of 5th, so we start 5th in this race at Brands Hatch. So keep watching to find out where we get to. There was a red flag in the last race, which we managed to recover from nicely, but the red lights are about to go on, which means this race is about to get started. The red lights are on. And they're off, and we are away nicely on the inside line. Actually got a good start. There's a lot of wheel spin in the first race, so I kept the revs relatively low. Already up to potentially 4th position. On the outside, we've got Jamie Turner going around the outside, got Kev Bird right behind us. But we have nicely got that 4th position. You can see the top 3 are already breaking away down into Druids for the first time, but they are fighting for position. Trying to get around. Well, actually got Jamie Turner on the inside, but we're going to keep that position because we've got the inside now for Graham Hill Bend, I should say. Up ahead, got Jake Pace, Jonathan Greensmith, and Jack Worry are the top 3. Normally, they're a lot further ahead in the racing I've done over the last few years, but it has been a great run of races so far, and I am able to stick with the front of this field, which is great news for the future of this championship as well for me. So, crossing over the line, lap 1. It's a very short lap, like I said last time at Brands Hatch. It's a great track for spectating, which is up on the left there. You can go in those grandstands, and for a club racing day, you can go out in the paddock as well. So, just a general entry ticket will get you all the way through. You can see up ahead, they're fighting for the lead. Jonathan Greensmith through, locking the wheels, but managed somehow to get it stopped and then make the apex. And Jack Worry losing out and potentially getting down to no, not quite. Jake Pace backing out of that move round the outside of Graham Hill. Didn't quite get it done. I don't know if Jake saw that, but quick hand movement to say, I'm going to work together, I'm not going to fight this, because I absolutely, you can see, crashing over the curbs as it's flat out through 30s. Jamie Turner poking his nose down the inside there at McLaren, which has compromised both of our exits. I'm just trying to say, look, let's work together, we can get away from the group behind. In fact, you've got, that is Jordan Pimley, from a long way back. This is like lap 2 or something, and he is already getting on for podium positions. That is ridiculous. He has made so much progress. So you can see they've come together, they've nudged, let's lock, and Jamie Turner's locking wheels, they've forced them both out wide. So on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend there, you can see Jamie Turner and Jordan Pimley came together as they were going down into Druids. That has put Jordan a long way back now, so he's going to have to do a bit of recovery now to try and get back into this race. Meanwhile, that's given us a nice bit of breathing room. As I was racing around last time, actually, a lot of the race in 4th position. I ended up in 5th, and the tyres went off in the last race, so I have reduced the pressures a little bit, which means the warm-up will be slightly slower, but you can see, looking around us, we are pretty much on our own. Maybe it's time, I forgot to say it in the last video, but this is YouTube after all, so if you haven't liked the video, please do, and subscribe if you haven't already. It does massively help the channel out. We're getting on for 500 subscribers actually, which is amazing really. I'd love to get to that number, so if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And meanwhile, Jack Worry's been shuffled back down the pack. He started out this race leading it. He is now back down to 3rd place, and because of that fighting between the lead trio, it is enabling us in 4th position to stay in touch, which is, this is all really good news. I'm actually thinking of having a look back at this footage, and actually on the race day itself, I still think I need to get this car on a dyno. So since I've rebuilt this engine, I haven't had it on the dyno yet, so it's just running whatever last time the tuning was set for the last engine, and this is a bit more displacement, so it's the 0.5 bigger pistons in it as well, so it should have a little bit more power. It probably does need to go on the dyno to get tuned a bit, to be honest, because then maybe that'll give me even more power. Maybe I'll be able to lead if I get that. Let's stay serious. Probably not, but at the same time, a podium is definitely on. If one of these if one of these lead trio come to grief, then I'll certainly be up there in a podium position, which, I mean, the team kind of joke, and, well, I say the team, it's normally just a couple of mates who come in to help out. So Mike said before the race he didn't necessarily want me to finish on the podium, because that might mean a bit longer packing up and getting home. This is the last race of the day. The downside of this championship, where you've got all the racing being done in one day, is that we're basically first out and last out. And you can see actually behind me, got Austin Pegg in car 86. Again, I was trying to sort of give the let's work together move, but you know what, with these arm restraints, that is one of the things, it does make it a bit more difficult to do the arm manoeuvres with the arm restraints on. The whole point of the arm restraints is that your arms can't leave the cockpit, and the point of that is they don't get crushed if you roll over and lose consciousness. So, but unfortunately it does mean that it makes it a bit more difficult to signal to the cars behind that you'd quite like to work together. I'm just putting my hand up this time to talk about there's a yellow flag, and the car stopped on the inside. I went past a little bit quickly to catch the number, but I think that was Paul Simard, who was alongside us at the first race. So a bit of a shame for Paul, because he's been there you are, safety car. So I think it was a pretty dangerous place for that car to be. Difficult to recover from there, to be honest. So no choice but to bring the safety car out, and gives a chance to cool the engine down a little bit. I'm still getting that fluctuating oil pressure thing, by the way. It's where at high throttle and high RPM, at full throttle and high RPM, the oil pressure gauge is fluctuating a little bit, which isn't really good news. But given this engine's now done 2 races and a couple of test days, I'm hoping it's either a false indication or it's still getting enough oil. Otherwise it would have blown up by now, hopefully. Anyway, we're getting on for this restart of this race. You can see the safety car is out ahead, and controlling the restart is left to the front car, which is Jake Pace, and he has gone. So we were just in the right bit of the rev range in the second gear. So we were able to actually stick with the leaders when Jake put the foot down, and as you can see, Austin behind us absolutely caught out. Must have been in the wrong part of the rev range or whatever it was, but we are absolutely clear behind us, so free to attack in front and try and stick with this lead trio down into Paddock Hill Bend. It is a tough corner to get right, but when you do, you gain so much time, and you can see actually a good Paddock Hill Bend for me there, because we are still with that leading trio down into Druids for the first time after the restart. Going through Graham Hill Bend, clipping the inside, using as much runoff as you can. There is a sensor there, so track limits are being policed, and there is a sensor which takes like a speed camera picture of your car for the race director to dock time away from you if you do it enough times, but we're nowhere near that. You normally get a black and white flag before that happens, but we haven't had one of those. Meanwhile, you saw behind us Del Pace. Del Pace was very much at the front in race 1 before him and Jordan Pimley came together and ended up in the gravel, then started from the pit lane in the last race. So Del's done amazingly well to now be up in 5th place, and he will be catching us because he was definitely a quick drop. He's a quick driver anyway, but he was definitely quick in qualifying here at Brands. Missing the apex again. There's a few points of my driving here where I definitely can see room for improvement, which is great news, because actually I'm driving half a second faster, maybe a bit more actually, a lap round Brands Hatch than I was last year, and I can definitely see room for improvement. So it's really bodes well for the future. Meanwhile, Del Pace will be catching us because we are not quite able to keep up close enough to this leading trio to get really a good benefit from that slipstream. They are getting away from us, which means we are going to be caught behind us. You can see looking behind us, looking in the mirror, Del Pace catching us a bit like a shark, you know, the Jaws theme tune, just imagine that in your head, as Del Pace is getting closer and closer and closer. Trying my best, again, going the right over the white line on the pit exit for Paddock Hill Bend. If you turn and then brake, actually you can turn a bit with your brake pedal and carry a bit more speed. I will do a video actually of the fastest qualifying lap, and I'll put that out as well at some point over the next few weeks, and just talk you around my lap of Brands Hatch. I should probably also say that I've also got because of this Insta360, I'm releasing these videos in VR as well, so a full 360 video for the 5 people that have VR headsets. I count myself among those actually, so I have seen it on my VR headset. It does look pretty good, to be honest, so I have made a separate channel because I don't expect it'll get that many views, but I have released the videos, or I will be releasing the videos for these in VR as well, but no time to talk about that. Dell is sticking his nose down the inside, and he's amazingly kept that traction and also kept it up the hill down to Druids, which means he's definitely got that and got the position up. Went a bit wide there and gave him loads of room, and actually a bit wide on the exit as well, so didn't really want to fight that too much, to be honest, because I knew Dell was going to be quicker, and there's still at least 3 or 4 minutes left of this race. There's still 3 or 4 laps, and if I was trying to keep Dell behind me for 3 or 4 laps, with Jordan Pimley, mind you, is coming up really quick. Where did he come from? How? Completely nowhere. Just seems on a different level. Just brakes later into McLaren. I think just caught me napping there. And again, it's probably unlikely I'd have been able to keep Jordan behind me for that long, but Jordan all the way through on the inside at McLaren, and we are shuffled down the pack here. So we were running 4th, we're now running 6th, but we have got a nice gap behind us to Ted Bradbury, who was in the MX-5 Championship last year, did really well in that, but I think on a guest entry this year into the Clubmans, and I think we had some issues in race 1, but also working his way up the field, but because he started quite a long way back, I think we've got quite a big gap behind us now. So we are free to try and chase these cars down, but if you look here, either I'm getting a poor exit, and then that might well be the case, I'm getting a poor exit out of Graham Hill, or there's still some power to find in the engine, because you could see the cars were really getting away from me down the Cooper Straight between Graham Hill Bend and Surtees. I think it just could be my exit of Graham Hill, to be honest, but I still think there's some power to find with this engine, so I might try and get it to... Oh, there's checkered flag. There's that. There you are. Less laps than I thought left. Actually, that was the last lap. I'm sure maybe should have defended a bit harder. but no, you can see. I think pretty happy about that. And Jordan, who taught us around this circuit last year, I think pretty happy with our performance as well. You can see Jordan about to do his signature move in celebration around Druids. I thought about following him, but I didn't want to ruin my tyres, that's my excuse anyway. But thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you with a nice bit of paddock banter at the end of the race. Thanks very much for watching.
Get out of the car so I can give you a cuddle, you fucking big sexy beast. Fucking flying, dude. Well done, Amber. Well done. Brilliant.
I enjoyed that.
Brilliant. And, for the tune.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah.